On consideration of the City of Kisumu Charter. 2, the chairperson of the Technical Training, Innovation and Services Committee will move the first reading of the Kisumu County Education and Social Protection Fund Bill 2020. That is County Assembly, Bill number 2 of 6. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the chairperson of Sports, Culture, Gender and Youth Affairs Committee will move the first reading of the Kisumu County Gender and Equality Bill 2026. That is County Assembly Bill 20. Thursday, June 11th, the commencement of the business, chairperson of the committee will move a motion for the adoption of the committee report on the implementation of the General's report, financial statement of the County Revenue Fund, the year 2024-2025. So 5, Mr. Speaker, the chairperson of the committee will move a motion for adoption of the committee report on the examination of the General's report, financial statement of the IMBO level 4 for the financial year 2024-5. Then on Thursday, 6 June 6, the majority leader statement pursuant to order number 1, 2 of C of the standing orders, that is coming before the County Assembly for the week commencing on Wednesday, September 20. And at the commencement of the
Remember, could you please use the microphone for purposes of the answer?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was saying at the commencement of the business, the chairperson of PICPAC committee will move a motion for the adoption of the committee report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on financial statement of the Kisumu County Lakefront Development Corporation for the financial year 2024-2026. And that's all, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Order number 8, commencement of business. Motion, adoption of the report of Finance and ICT Committee on the review and examination of the annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025.
Yes, Honorable Chair for Finance Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, this is a report on the review and the examination of the Kisumu County Climate Change Annual Report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, in accordance with Section 167 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, the administrator of a county public fund is mandated to prepare and submit annual financial statements for the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund, that is FLOCA, to the County Assembly within 3 months after the end of each financial year. In compliance with this provision, the Chief Officer for Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources submitted the annual report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. And from the main report, you can check this in Annex 1. These reports were duly tabled in this assembly by the Majority Leader, Honorable Kennedy Ooko, on Wednesday, 2nd September 2025, and subsequently committed to the Sectoral Committee on Finance and ICT for the consideration. Pursuant to the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Order number 1935 and the second schedule, the committee has critically analyzed and scrutinized these annual financial statements. Honorable Speaker, these annual reports and financial statements present the budget execution status covering the period from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2024, providing comparative analysis of actual achievements against the budgeted amounts for the fiscal year 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to extend our gratitude to your office and the Office of the Clerk for the logistical support provided throughout the committee's meetings. I also commend the members of the committee for their active engagement and invaluable contributions during discussions. Special thanks goes to the Office of the Fiscal Analyst and the technical staff for their diligent work in interpreting and synthesizing the financial information, offering deeper insights into the statements. Additionally, I acknowledge the Secretariat for their meticulous coordination, planning, and preparation of this comprehensive report. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, we have conducted a comprehensive examination of the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund annual report and financial statements, made key observations and findings, and provided recommendations for your consideration and adoption. It is now my distinct privilege and honor to present the progress report. Sorry, this is not a progress report. Present a report of the Committee of Consideration of the Kisumu County Climate Change annual reports and financial statement for the period ended 30th June 2025 for careful consideration and approval. As a committee, these are our findings. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, the committee dedicated considerable time and effort towards the review of the annual reports and financial statements under consideration. In executing this mandate, the committee convened a total of 8 meetings during which members deliberated, interrogated, and scrutinized the accounts in detail. Arising from these deliberations, the committee identified several significant concerns which were formally communicated to the County Executive Committee member for water, environment, climate change, and natural resources. And the letter was dated 8th September 2025. On the main report, you can check Annex 2. Subsequently, a reminder was given, which was dated 16th September 2025, and this one you can check Annex 3. Following the committee's submissions, the department responded again through a letter dated 22nd September 2025, and from the main report you can check Annex 4, indicating that the financial statements, while already under review with the Office of the Auditor General, and urging the committee to suspend its review process pending the Auditor General report. The committee, however, responded again, and the letter was dated 24th September 2025, and you can check Annex 5, rejecting the department's position and reiterating that the existence of a parallel review by another oversight authority does not exempt any county executive entity from its constitutional and statutory obligation to furnish information or respond to queries raised by the county assembly or its committee. Accordingly, the committee directed the department to 1, submit without further delay comprehensive responses to additional queries raised on the financial statements, and B, appear before the committee on Monday, 6th October 2025 at 10:30 a.m. within the county assembly precincts, accompanied by relevant technical officers to provide clarification and justification on the outstanding issue. And this was the outcome of the consultative engagement. During the consultative meeting, the responses presented by the CECM for water, environment, climate change, and natural resources were found to be unsatisfactory. Consequently, the committee directed the department to undertake a comprehensive review of the financial statements and submit revised financial statements adequately addressing the concerns raised. To date, the revised financial statements and the promised responses which the department had undertaken to submit within 1 week have not been provided to the committee. As a committee, we did a follow-up, and this was the outcome. Following the reading of the progress report on the review and consideration of the annual financial statement of Kisumu County Climate Change Fund for the period ended 30th June 2025, which was presented on 17th March 2026, the House granted the committee an additional 2 weeks to finalize its review. Subsequently, the committee issued a reminder, and it was dated 31st March 2026 to the CECM for water, environment, and natural resources regarding the outstanding issues raised in the report. The department was required to submit a comprehensive written response addressing all outstanding queries and unresolved issues on the annual financial statements by Friday, 24th April 2026. And you can check Annex 6. However, the department neither responded nor submitted any communication to the committee regarding the issues raised in the said letter. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, following comprehensive review and interrogation of the annual financial statements, the committee identified and flagged several critical issues, which was subsequently forwarded to the Department of Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources for response and clarification. Additional responses. The matrix below outlines the committee's observations, findings, and recommendations concerning the specific issues raised on these annual reports and financial statements. Members, you can check. I think from the main, it is on page 4. I'm using movie notes, so you can move with me as we go through the table. When we check area of concern, reporting period, there were inconsistencies. And this one you can check, refer to page 1 and page 2. And as a committee, this is what we observed. The reporting period for the prior year comparative column under various statements in the document covers 1st April 2023 to 30th June 2024, translating to a reporting period of 1 year and 3 months, whereas the succeeding comparative period covers 1 year running from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2025. These inconsistent comparative periods violate IPSAS 1, which requires consistent period disclosures. And if you check under this column, we didn't get any response from the department. And this is what we recommended as a committee. Fund administrator should provide the correct responding and comparative period and make necessary amendments on the financial statement. Number 2, under area of concern, liabilities presentation. We refer to statement of financial statement position page 2. This is what we observed as a committee. Trade and other payables from the exchange transaction is reported at Kenya shillings 102,871,487 under current liabilities, but the totals for the current and overall liabilities are blank. Here again, they did not respond, and this is what we recommended as a committee, the administrator to complete the totals and correct the typographical errors. Number 3, statement of financial performance, contributions, and donations. The statement of financial performance reports public contribution and donation totaling to Kenya shillings 66,427,000. You can refer to page 1 and note 1 on page 19. Here we wanted them to provide clarification on this material inconsistency between the main statement and its supporting note. However, note 1 indicates donations from development partners amounting to Kenya shillings 173,335,666 and 0 for public contribution. Under cash flows and statements versus accrual accounting, this is what we observe as a committee. While the fund reports project cost of Kenya shillings 214,695,326 as actual payments in the cash flow statement, the existence of trade payables of Kenya shillings 102,871,487 contradicts this. Under accrual accounting, the actual cash payments should be adjusted to reflect only Kenya shillings 111,823,839. For example, Kenya shillings 214,695,326 less Kenya shillings 102,871,487. This overstatement in the cash flow statements undermines the integrity of cash reporting and results in non-compliance with IPSAS. And that is cash flow statements. This also advised the department, the administrator, to provide a detailed PPE schedule and apply depreciation in accordance with IPSAS 17 to ensure accurate financial reporting and compliance with the accounting standards. Under cash flow statements, and this from the main report, you can check page 5. And under this, receipts are shown as transfers from county government amounting to Kenya shillings 269,298,487. However, the statement of the financial performance shows county transfers of Kenya shillings 100 million and public contributions and donations of Kenya shillings 66,427,000. We wanted the fund administrator to reconcile and clarify the discrepancy between the cash flow statement and the statement of the financial performance. Under related party disclosures, you can check the note 26, indicate nil related party transactions despite a transfer of 100 million from the county government, which constitutes a related party transaction under IPSAS 20. Again here, they did not respond after their meeting with them. I don't know whether they were rude or what. And we advised as a committee that the fund administrator to revise and update the related party disclosure, not to reflect the county government transfer, any other related party transactions. Under cash and cash equivalents, we have Kenya shillings 123,673,784. And you can check note 12 on page 2. Here, the management, we wanted them to provide, the management to provide a bank reconciliation statement or bank balance certificate to support the reported balance. Because without that, as a committee, we could not agree. Under property, plant and equipment, that is PPE, we had Kenya shillings 34,118,916, and you can check note 17 from the main report. The fund reports the acquisition of PPE worth Kenya shillings 31,968,946, resulting in a closer balance of Kenya shillings 34,118,916. So as a committee, one, we wanted to explain why depreciation was not charged, as this is a violation of IPSAS 17, that is property, plant, and equipment. Two, we did not see any detailed schedule provided, outlining 1, items purchased, 2, the allocations and commission status, 3, linkage to fund projects. So these were missing from their presentation. So we further wanted them to provide a detailed PPE schedule showing items purchased, the allocations, commissioning status, and linkage to fund projects. Additionally, we wanted them to explain why depreciation was not charged and ensure compliance with IPSAS 17. Under project cost, we had Kenya shillings 214,695,326, and this falls under note 6 in page 20. The total project cost reported in the statement of financial performance is Kenya shillings 214,695,326, as explained under note 6 in page 20. However, note 20 classifies the projects as follows. 1, completed and unpaid, Kenya shillings 15,579,500. Awarded and incomplete, Kenya shillings 106,877,256. Awarded and paid, Kenya shillings 92,238,570. As a committee here, we wanted the fund administrator to provide clarification and reconciliation of the project classifications, each with the reported trade payables. Under budget actual performance, and this you can refer to page 1, the budget reflects a surplus of Kenya shillings 19,837,470, whereas the accrual-based financial statements indicate a deficit of Kenya shillings 67,322,705. And here as a committee, we wanted the management to provide a reconciliation between the budget and the actual figures together with an explanatory analysis of the variance. Under trade payables, we had Kenya shillings 102,871,487. And this one also falls under note 20 from the main report. The statement of financial positions reports trade payables of Kenya shillings 102,871,487. However, there's no disclosure of 1, the identity of the creditor, the nature of the liabilities, the specific projects or awards to which they relate. We wanted to tell us the awards which Flocker, there are projects of Flocker, and they were, as a committee, we wanted the management to provide detailed disclosures on the creditors, the nature of the liabilities, and the related projects or awards in compliance with IPSAS 30 and disclosure guidelines. Last but not least, judiciary oversight arrangements. Here, there is a mismatch in the designation or title for the position held by Honorable Elisa Jacoralo. Here, we wanted the management to correct and amend the designation appropriately for accuracy and consistency. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, the committee noted with concern the failure by the CCM for water, environment, natural resources, and climate change, together with the chief officer, to honor the committee's directive requiring the submission of the requisitive information and documents as requested. This conduct undermines the constitutional mandate of the county assemblies as provided under Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, which vests the county assembly with oversight authority over the county executive committee and other county executive organs. Failure to comply with such directives without lawful justifications amount to misconduct and may constitute contempt of the assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, The committee submits the following additional recommendations for the consideration by this esteemed House. 1, that appropriate administrative and legal action be taken against CCM for water, environment, natural resources, and climate change, and the responsible chief officer for failure to honor the committee directive and failure to produce relevant information and documentation on the issue raised during the scrutiny of the Kisumu County Climate Change Annual Report and Financial Statement for the period ended 30th June 2025, contrary to the provisions of Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya, Section 18 of the County Governments Act 2012, and the County Assembly's Powers and Privilege Act 2017. That this House approves that the Finance and ICT Committee sees any further consideration of the Kisumu County Climate Change Annual Report and Financial Statement for the period ended 30th June 2025 in line with the previous resolutions of this House. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I hereby urge the honorable members to adopt this report with the recommendations contained herein, and may I call upon Honorable Rati Boyton to second. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Rati Boyton, a member for Nyalenda A.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, I want to thank the committee, members of the committee, and the Secretariat for a report that they have brought to the floor of this House today. Honorable Speaker, I want to be very brief because the able chair has outlined the concerns of the committee in regards to this report. The chair mentioned a number of sittings during the interrogation of this report. And he outlined that the committee sat for 8 sittings to interrogate the report. Of course, the report was committed to the committee in September 2025. And we are in 2026, June. Nevertheless, Honorable Speaker, a number of issues that have been mentioned here are totaling to 12, which the committee has indicated in the table of this report. There was no response from the Department of Water. This definitely has or undermined the work of this committee. Honorable Speaker, Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and Section 18 of the County Government Act 2012 illustrate the powers of this assembly. The oversight authority of this assembly. And Honorable Speaker, having invited the CEC together with this team to come and respond to matters and concerns that this committee had placed on their table. Is termed as gross misconduct. And we all know and understand that the assembly has judicial powers. And that is where now I believe the assembly will flex its powers in terms of non-responsive CEC member for water. Honorable Speaker, this is not just a matter of the committee, but it is a matter of the entire assembly. It is regrettable to note that the CEC for water, natural resources, never gave response while this report being interrogated by the committee. So I want to call upon this assembly to flex its muscles so that we set a pace whereby the county executive members, when invited or asked, give a response, they do comply. Honorable Speaker, lastly, the chair also mentioned the shiza of further interrogating of this kind of report. And I want to support, because this report once had already been committed to the committee of PICPAC, and I know the committee of PICPAC had already worked on this report. Honorable Speaker, I second the report by those few remarks. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. A motion has been moved on the adoption of the report of Finance and ICT Committee on the review and examination of the annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025. A motion moved by the chair and seconded by the Honorable Boyton. And now I propose to put a question that the motion for adoption of the report of Finance and ICT Committee on the review and examination of the annual reports and financial statements of the Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025 is now open for debate. Yes, the Honorable Nereo Kombo, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise here, a very sorry member of the House. And Mr. Speaker, I sympathize with the Committee on Finance, because what they presented here is not only a waste of time of this precious assembly, but is one of the most shoddy reports I've ever seen on the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, to start with, even the flow of the format of the report is inconsistent. Mr. Speaker, the report is too shallow, and I can only have two issues to raise. Mr. Speaker, the committee on its recommendations claims the department never responded to issues they raised, when it is them in their own report that have attached Annex 5 And in Annex 5, we have responses from the committee, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, allow me read. And the reference is responses to issues raised by the committee on its scrutiny of the Kisumu County Climate Change Fund annual report. And they start by saying, we acknowledge receipt of your letter, reference that one. And then they say, we acknowledge the audit observation concerning all that. And they say it is true that the totals for current liabilities and overall liabilities are blank. We have made the necessary changes to the financial statements. That is on page 2, accordingly as per Annexure 2, and it is given. The management goes all the way to even answer to the inconsistency that the receipt shown as 269,298 is a typical error and has been corrected accordingly. The county transfer therefore remains at 100 million and the public donation as 66,427,000. Mr. Speaker, this committee is misleading the House by insinuating that they never got any responses, while in their own report, they have even attached the response from the department. Mr. Speaker, in their inquiry, they admit that Floka has a fund manager. And all the way they talk about a fund manager, but now in their recommendation, they are picking on the CCM water. So what does the CCM has to do with a fund that has a manager, Mr. Speaker? So, Mr. Speaker, the issue of witch hunting and picking people who are directly not responsible for particular projects needs to stop. Financial statements, Mr. Speaker, as we all know, are meant to correct issues on management. They serve also as M&E tools to help run the projects of the county. A financial statement that comes a whole year after audit has been taken, a report has been given, and a PICPAC committee given its report, and the report has been adopted in the House, Mr. Speaker, serves as a waste of time of this honorable House, Mr. Speaker. So I find this report as a waste of our time and not even worth the attention of the honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, let the House just reject the report because it will not serve any purpose anyway. The report had been, the audit had been taken. So I don't know why they are bringing this report, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, let the committee next time adhere to the timelines provided for report writing. When they provided a progress report in March, the House gave them 2 weeks to finalize their reporting. 2 weeks from March, Mr. Speaker, I think is long spent. So I don't want to blame the chair or the members, but I think the problem is largely on the part of the administration. This is one committee that had issues with clerks, and a recent reshuffling saw the initial clerks of the committee taken to other committees and new ones, totally green ones, brought on board, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to help committees serve their purpose, not just send clerks to sit in those committees and do reports that do not help the county, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, that is my submission, but I don't see this report worthy of attention of this honorable House. Thank you.
The Honorable Tom Nyaoke, member for North Nyakach.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to also hear my observation in this report. And Mr. Speaker, first I would say that the Finance Committee is seriously one of the very important committee that we have. And indeed, we have entrusted them with a lot of issues to do with this county. Mr. Speaker, let me go straight to the point because of time limitations. Mr. Speaker, FLOCA's core purpose is to finance locally chosen projects that protect communities from climate change while improving livelihoods and sustainable development at the grassroots levels. Mr. Speaker, just from that short sentence tells us what we are talking about. Mr. Speaker, I will pick this report from the point as it has been brought in this House and believing on the facts that have been put in this report. Mr. Speaker, I will also give a short testimony on what just happened the other day when the committee, the Standing Committee on Environment and other issues related to FLOCA visited my own ward to check on the progress and what has been done in one of the FLOCA projects that was to be done in North Nyakach ward. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the matrix that has been given to us by this committee, item number 11, trade payables, Kenya shillings 102,871,487. That is not contained in note number 20, page 29, as they have given in the matrix. And look at the observation of the committee that the statement of financial position reports trade payables of Kenya shillings 102,871,487. However, there is no disclosure of, one, the identity of the creditors, two, the nature of the liabilities, three, the specific projects or wards to which they relate. Mr. Speaker, FLOCA projects don't just happen in heaven. They must be done in wards. And Mr. Speaker, something as grave as this, if the committee can demand an explanation from the executive and they fail to get, where shall we get it? We are not allowed to go and ask it directly. And Mr. Speaker, you look at the statement there, 3.1, on non-adherence with committee directives. Mr. Speaker, this committee sat, and if they tell us, you know, when a crocodile is sick and you see even a frog coming out of the water to tell you a crocodile is sick, we must believe. If this committee also seen to it that there were certain directives that were not complied with by the CCM, I think it is up to them to recommend an action that should be taken by this House, Mr. Speaker. That is provided for in our standing orders and the relevant Constitution of Kenya 2010. Mr. Speaker, now let me come to a short testimony. When we visited my ward, where we had a FLOCA project, and Senator Khalwale did raise certain questions, very fundamental. Even me, I was shocked in that particular meeting. When he asked, because when they had a brief meeting at the executive, they were told that the dam which was constructed by FLOCA in my ward is supporting 280 families, Mr. Speaker. But coming to the site, the understanding of the CCM was that the 280 families were able to come there and draw water with jerry cans. While the expectation of that committee is that we need to have connected 280 homes from that particular point. Mr. Speaker, there is a lot of secrecy on the execution of these FLOCA projects. And going forward, Mr. Speaker, I tend to think that this House should take this issue a bit seriously, because I saw and witnessed the type of cross-examinations that the senators were throwing forward. Mr. Speaker, the secrecy that has been put in the FLOCA project should be unearthed, and they should just tell us why a lot of things are being hidden. Mr. Speaker, even if you try to look at even the BOQ, the bill of quantities for that particular project, nobody is willing to give to you. Nobody is willing even to tell you what were the scope of works. You cannot be able to understand as long as they are going on creating the project. But once they finish, it doesn't actually do what exactly is supposed to benefit the wananchi. Mr. Speaker, with that few remarks, to me, I think this is fairly a good report that has told us. And Mr. Speaker, I have gone through this particular report, and I'm telling you, the committee have been very fair in the truth that they analyzed from this particular issue, Mr. Speaker. I therefore support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member for Central Seme. Yes.
Speaker, I stand to support the report done by the Committee of Finance on the review, examination of county climate change, annual statement for the year ended 2025 June. I start by saying that the committee went through the report and they made several observations and recommendations. I love to use the word satisfactory, inconsistency, words that the committee this report. There are a number of areas of concern that this committee indicated in their report. Mr. Speaker, I want to support my counterpart, Onyaoke, that indeed FLOCA is a very important, and quite a number of communities have benefited from FLOCA. And it's very important that their financial statement is taken serious. The more reason why the committee sat for a number of days. I do not want to pick on what Honorable Nerea has said, but I want to focus on some of the areas of concern. This committee had a concern on item 7 on cash and cash equivalent, that the reported cash and cash equivalent balance was 123 million. No bank statement, no reconciliation, no certificate provided to support this inconsistency. The committee has indicated that the CC, there was no response because the management was to send the supportive documents, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I want to also pick on item on, there's an item that the committee on the property, plant and equipment. Mr. Speaker, here the committee had observed that the fund had reported an acquisition of property worth 31 million. And when the committee had written or wanted an explanation, there's nothing showing to even explain that an item was purchased, Mr. Speaker. And the reason why the committee has come up with this report. Still on the property, plant and equipment, it does not go with the IPSAS, because in the IPSAS, you look at the work of the committee, they say that The department should have explained why the depreciation was not charged. We are talking about a department, Mr. Speaker, which knows the laws in this country, and they know at the end of the year, the financial reporting, how it is done. It's like the committee is telling the department, which has an accountant, that you are reminding them about the IPSAS, that you violated IPSAS. Very funny, Mr. Speaker. There is no detailed schedule provided, no locations on the properties and the equipment of this particular fund, Mr. Speaker. And I stand to go with the recommendation of the committee, Mr. Speaker, that this House makes an administrative and legal action against the CCM Water and Natural Resources. And I call upon and encourage my colleagues to support the work of this committee and the motion on the floor of the House. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mickey Ochie.
Honorable Speaker, I beg your pardon.
We are debating on a motion on the review and examination of Kisumu County Climate Change Annual Report and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2023. And the Speaker sees fit to give you this golden opportunity to submit.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me that golden opportunity. What I'm not aware is that the Speaker is supposed to be giving voluntarily opportunities for members to either discuss or continue. But I thank you, and I want to call the mover to reply.
Thank you. Yes, the Honorable Karen. Honorable Mickey, could you switch off your
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, once again. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the members who have took their time to stand in support of this report. Honorable Speaker, my senior, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Nereo Kombo, said that the report is not flowing. There is inconsistency. How I wish she could explain further so that I understand. Because according to me, the report is flowing. Two, it is not 1 year since this report was committed to our committee on September 2nd, 2025. And I want to inform this Honorable House that when we presented a progress report, we were given 2 weeks to compile full report, and that was in March. Again, I want to inform this Honorable House that after 2 weeks, we were ready with this report. We took it to the House Business Committee. It was scheduled for debate. Unfortunately, we lacked quorum. It was last Tuesday when I reminded the clerk, and that is when it was scheduled for debate. So we did our work within 2 weeks, as was given by this Honorable House. Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm happy as the chair liaison committee, the vice chair of business committee, that you have noticed there's a problem with the report and you know where the problem lies. I've been complaining, I complained the better part of this last year. When I thought I was rescued, and then boom, another problem came up. I believe you will act as my senior and do what is necessary. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Nyaoke was lamenting. He was just concerned about the projects done by Floka. He's saying that they lacked impact as expected. And this one I can't comment further because we have different words. Maybe he has a reason why he's saying so. Maybe you need to contact the Wazir and the Chief so that they can do what is expected of them. Honorable Ajumbo supported the report and she was not happy about the reactions we got from the department. Last but not least, my brother, Honorable Rati Boyton, who seconded the report, he also was frustrated the way the department handled the whole thing. And I want to request this Honorable House that the implementation committee to do their work, so the recommendations which are within this report be implemented. We want the action and respect. We cannot sit as a committee and go through the report, scrutinize, raise queries, and then we wait for the response for the department and we don't get them. That is a sign of no respect. Otherwise, I reply. Thank you.
Thank you, members. A motion for adoption of the report of Finance and ICT Committee on the review and examination of annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the financial period ended 30th June 2025 was moved by the Honorable Karen Odhiambo, the Chair of the Finance and ICT Committee, seconded by the Honorable Boyton, debated by honorable members, and now it's time to propose question for adoption. And honorable members, I put the question that as many as of the opinion that we adopt the motion on adoption report of the Finance and ICT Committee on the review and examination of the annual report and financial statement of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025, say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion, say nay. Members, I put the question again. As many as of the opinion that we adopt the report, say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion, say nay. Thank you, honorable members. The ayes have it. And the motion of adoption of the report of the Finance and ICT Committee on the review and examination of annual report and financial statements of Kisumu County climate change for the period ended 30th June 2025 has been adopted today, Tuesday, the 9th of June at 15:54 hours. Honorable members are direct that this report with this recommendation reach all the relevant offices for implementation of the recommendations. Thank you, honorable members. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, there's no any other report.
There being no any other business, the House stands adjourned until tomorrow, 10th June 2025 at 9 a.m.
draft report. Ahora ni picha maroka